Okay, so this is the recording. I will be speaking far away from the camera because I realized that camera make me nervous, so maybe that's why. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about Japan. So my trip in Japan has been one of the most, no, actually it is the most memorable trip of my life so far, and I have so much to tell. I just don't know where to start, and I've been procrastinating this because there's just so much to tell that I don't know where to start because I want to make it perfect. But you know what? This is 4:50 a.m. maybe, like almost 5 a.m. in the morning, and I decided to just speak out what's on my mind. And I have my coffee here. Not so good. Okay, so where do we start? So, okay. Um how okay. Okay. Yeah. 5 I think there are some tips that I want to share because I feel like even though my trip to Japan is budget friendly, like I travel in backpacking style, but I feel like I enjoyed most of it. Like it's not really budgety, but also it's not like I'm not spoiling myself with shopping or something like that. But I do spoiling myself with good food and some treats. So I think this is like in the middle of everything. And my first tip. Hello. Oh, say hi. Okay, so let's do it step by step. First is find your flight, buy your flight, and then this is I'm not gonna be talking about visa in this video, but you know I will probably talk about visa in the next video if you want to know. But first step is buy your flight ticket. I use Skyscanner for this. There are also few good options like Google Flights and Kiwi, but don't book on Kiwi because I have a very bad experience with by booking with Kiwi. But you can just use it to compare prices. But I would recommend Skyscanner and Google Flights so you can open them both and then you know I usually use Skyscanner first because in Skyscanner you can put your arrival and departure as a country, so it doesn't have to be a city, which is helpful if you want to check for the cheapest price. So I was searching for like Indonesia, Japan, and then at that time the cheapest flight was to Fukuoka from Indonesia, from Bali. So Bali to Fukuoka is the cheapest. So I booked that, and it was like on 26th of March. I guess I'm guessing, I forgot, but yeah, I guess so. And then I search, okay, and then I have to book like the flight back, right? And then that time the cheapest, because I want to plan it for around a month. So at that time the cheapest was yeah, from Osaka to Bali. I forgot. Pokoknya from Osaka back to Indonesia, and I booked that. And then, okay, I already get my time frame, right? I already know, like, okay, this is how long I'm gonna be in Japan. This is where I enter. This is where I exit. So the second most important and crucial plan is planning your route. Trust me, this is like the key to save budget and to enjoy everything at the fullest because you don't want to hurry. Depends. If you have a lot of money and you don't mind over budgeting, then you know it wouldn't be a problem. But if you, like me, like you have budget, you don't want to spend over budget. You don't want to over budget yourself. But at the same time, you want to enjoy everything. Plan your route well because this is gonna save your time, save your money, and make you much more stressless for your trip. So plan your route. Like I told you, you got the time frame, you know where to enter, you know where to exit. So you just need to plan. Okay, from this city to that, where should I stop? Where do I want to stop? In my case, I really want to go to Hiroshima and Nagasaki because those two country, I mean those two city is why I know about Japan, like from my history class in school, and also I want to pay respect and I want to learn more about the history. So that's why I think Fukuoka is a very good start, also the cheapest. So I go from Fukuoka to Hiroshima and then to Osaka and then to Kyoto, Nara, Tokyo, Fuji, and then back to Tokyo, and then Yamagata, and then I think back to Kyoto again. I forgot, but I plan the route. It doesn't have to be like very detailed or specific. You still want to make room for improvement, or you want to make room for who knows, like you meet new friends on the way and they ask you to go here and there. You want to say yes to those stuff because it's gonna be fun, right? So you still want to leave that flexibility open, but you just have to know what route are you gonna take. And then after this route is planned, third step is obviously lodgings, where you're gonna sleep along the way, right? So because you know which city you want to stay in, booking a lodging is very easy. Find the biggest station or the main station of the city, and then just search within 3 kilometers of that. I use Agoda. Why? Because first, I think Agoda is like Skyscanner for hotels and hostels. And also second, the most important thing is you can book it like few months in advance and you don't have to pay it like until 3 days before your arrival, or you can pay it even in the hotel. So there's no you have the flexibility, even more flexibility to if you want to rearrange your trip or there's something urgent coming up, you can always cancel it until 3 days before arrival. So I think it's a very good way to plan it, to strategize your trip. So I'm gonna repeat it again. First one, book your flight. Second, plan your route, and then third, book your lodgings. And then everything else will go along the way. Like for example, transportation and everything. Honestly, for the first few days, I have trouble with the transportation, but it's not because it's hard. It's actually easy, but it's only because I'm not used to train and stuff here. We don't have that kind of train in Indonesia, or at least in my city. But yeah, and Japan transportation system is very very big, like, and it's very reachable everywhere, so you don't have to be scared. There are buses, there are like so many public transportation that is very reachable, and I think they all have at least English sign, or if not, you can always use your Google Maps, because trust me, Google Maps is your best friend in Japan. Like, it is so handy. It even have like, oh my god, it's so cool because, for example, I'm waiting for a bus in the bus stop, right? And then I know that the next bus is coming for in the next 3 minutes, for example. And if they're gonna be late, even in your Google Maps, you will get like an alert, okay, that the bus is gonna be 1 minute late or something. So it's very updated and it's so cool and it's so handy. You don't need, in my opinion, you don't need any other maps. You just need that, unless you have GR Pass and you have bought like GR Pass with you. I recommend Navi app. So that's an app that you can use not to navigate, because not for navigation I think Google Maps is still better and easier. But for this app, you can use it to see if your GR Pass is can be used for a certain route. So I use GR Pass, and what I do is I open Navi Time, the app, the Japan app, and then I put my location and then where I want to go, and then I insert what kind of pass do I have, and I put the JR National Pass, and then I will see, okay, this is the route that I can take to use my JR Pass, so I don't need to pay extra. But after that, I will go to Google Maps and then search for the same line. So that's how I use it, and it's very easy. Trust me, you just need few days to adapt. But after that, I'm sure you wouldn't have any problem with that. And then to save more money, I do recommend you check on City Pass if you don't have GR Pass. Yeah, Japan also offers some kind of City Pass. For example, in Tokyo, there will be like 3 day pass or 2 day pass or even 1 day pass. So you buy it for like, I don't know, I forgot, but way cheaper than if you use your IC card to tap every time you want to go anywhere in Tokyo. So you can buy this pass if you know where you want to go. If not, it's okay. It's still it's nothing compared to how much you will tap if you use the normal IC card. So I do recommend you check into that. And then I think that's basically it. That is the three most important step to save budget. And how much do I spend a day? I budget myself like around $100 a day, or around 1 million rupiah, 1 million to 1,500,000 rupiah, and that is already very fancy for me, because in average most of the lodgings that I stayed are around 400, 500. That's for capsule hotels and dormitory, but so it's like half of my budget for a day. And then the rest of it, honestly, I don't do breakfast there, not because I don't want to. I want to, because all the foods in Japan are so good, but because I save money and I use it instead like for brunch. So at around 10 or 11 I will have my lunch and breakfast all together in 7-Eleven, because not only it's cheap but it's also very good, and they always have like places to eat, but also I can save time so I can travel more and explore more, because by eating at 7-Eleven it's very quick and convenient. So yeah, that's what I do for brunch. And then in the evening, usually if I have new friends, usually go for like a nice dinner, and that will cost like around I think 4,000 yen is justifiable, and it's like 500,000 rupiah for a nice fancy meal. And it's not something that you will get like every day, but the most expensive I spend for a fancy meal is like 4,000 yen ish, or 5,000 yen. So everything is still on budget. And for my brunch earlier, I told you it was like around 600 yen. 600 yen is like 100,000 rupiah. So I think I spent around that, because I don't pay for my transportation anymore, because I have JR Pass, and I use JR Pass and it can be used for almost everything. Because yeah, but yeah, so that is how much I spend usually per day, like 1 million to 1.5 million rupiah, around like $100 a day. And that is enough. That is more than enough, because there are days you eat nice, and then there are more days that you just eat like very basic food that costs you very, not very less, but lesser than it should be. So I do accumulate a lot of this budget per day, and then at the end of the day I still have so much left that I decided to buy something for my family and parents. So that is how I spend my budget. That is how I strategize my trip. And trust me, I think it's ideal, because I don't worry about my budget, because it's still enough for everything. Second, at least I don't have to worry where to sleep, or what should I go with. I have the transportation covered, I have the lodgings covered, I have my flights back. So these three I don't have to worry. And when you don't have to worry about these three, everything is very easier, because you have time to think about what do you want to eat, and then where do you want to go, and then what do you want to do. And yeah, that. And for internet, I use eSIM, and I use Airlus eSIM, and I think I mean, I've done my research, and I feel like that is the cheapest among many other options, and it's good enough. It covered everything from like Fukuoka up to Yamagata, and I'm alright by using that. And in most of the public places, you can have Wi-Fi anywhere, everywhere, so you don't have to worry about that. And that's it for this video. I mean, trust me, there's so many more I want to speak about. I'm just sure that this is enough for today, for this video. I hope it's gonna be helpful. I will probably share my spreadsheet somewhere here. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this video is helpful. Bye bye.